Some moments change everything, like a single spark that sets a dry field ablaze, leaving folks to wonder how trust can crumble so fast. It happened on a chilly evening in Washington, D.C., at a grand event celebrating Donald Trump's latest triumph. The gathering wasn't ordinary. People had come from all over, some dressed up fine, others wrapped in coats against the cold, to cheer for the man they'd stood by. The Capital One Arena buzzed with life, lights dancing over a crowd of faces, many older, their eyes shining with pride. Elon Musk, the dreamer who'd built Tesla and spoke of Mars, was there too, a big name in Trump's world. He took the stage, his voice ringing out, thanking the crowd. Then, as he finished, he raised his right hand, palm down, arm stiff, and thrust it forward, not once, but twice. The crowd roared, but a hush fell over others. A young man filming from the seats caught it all, and soon, that gesture, a move some called a Nazi salute, would light a match under everything. By morning, the video was everywhere, on TV, in the papers, passed around like gossip at the market. People couldn't agree on what they'd seen. It was a salute, some said, their voices low, remembering darker days they'd read about or lived through, like the ones from the war. The idea that Elon, who'd won hearts with talk of a greener world, could do such a thing felt like a betrayal. Older folks, who'd seen leaders rise and fall, shook their heads in disbelief. Into this whirlwind stepped Clara Evans, a woman they called the Boycott Queen. Clara was 58, her reddish hair streaked with gray, her green eyes sharp as ever. She'd grown up in Oregon, in a town where the forests her father loved had been chopped down to stumps. As a girl, she'd sat on his knee, listening to stories of the woods, promising she'd keep them safe. That promise had shaped her life, raising 2 kids alone, working long hours and still finding time to fight for the earth. She'd battled big companies before, calling out their hollow promises, and now she turned on Elon. "That wasn't a wave," she said in a speech that spread like wildfire. "It was a salute, a slap in the face to everything we've trusted Tesla to be. It's a sham, and we've got to stop it." Her words hit home, especially with folks her age who'd believed in Elon's vision. And stop it they did. Tesla lots emptied out, cars sitting untouched. In towns across the land, people who'd saved up for years walked away, their trust broken. Signs went up. "No more Musk. Earth first," and neighbors gathered in church halls and backyards vowing to stand firm. Clara kept going, leading marches outside Tesla plants, her coat flapping as she spoke through the wind. "He thinks he's untouchable," she told a crowd one stormy day, rain streaking her face. "But we've seen his true colors now, and we won't be fooled." Papers called it a green rebellion, and for a time it seemed Clara might topple the giant. Inside Tesla, the mood was heavy. Workers, many older, with decades of faith in the company, moved slow, their hearts sinking. Engineers sat in quiet rooms, staring at plans they feared might never come to life. The folks in charge scribbled notes to calm the storm, but nothing stuck. Elon stayed out of sight, locked in his office overlooking the city lights. He'd always been a doer, building dreams from scratch, so his silence left folks guessing. Was he ashamed? Angry? Cooking up a plan? Clara took it as a sign she'd won. "He's got no defense," she told Marcus Reed, a radio host with a gray beard and a gentle way who'd followed her fights for years. Marcus leaned in. "So you're calling him out, Clara? A real showdown?" She nodded. Live, for all to hear, let him explain that salute. Weeks stretched into months, and the boycott deepened. Tesla's showrooms turned into shadows of themselves, dust settling on cars no one wanted. Older buyers, retirees who'd pinned hopes on a better world, wrote letters, their hurt spilling onto the page. "We believed in you," one wrote, "and now we're lost." Clara's followers, many her age or older, stood tall, feeling they were righting a wrong that cut deep. But there were whispers, too, tales from Nevada, where folks saw trucks rumbling over empty land. Tom Haskell, a 62-year-old farmer, watched from his porch as machines kicked up dust. "Something's afoot," he told his wife Mary over a supper of stew and cornbread. "But I can't figure what." Then came the big news. A TV special called Clara Evans versus Elon Musk, the Tesla Reckoning. It was the kind of thing folks once gathered around the radio for, back when words carried weight. Posters went up in diners and post offices. One night, one truth. Clara got ready with her team, old pals like Betty, who'd sewn banners with her since the 80s, and Jim, a retired teacher who'd helped her kids with homework. They sat around her kitchen table, papers scattered, talking past midnight. She walked into the studio in a green jacket that matched her resolve, her hair tied back, her spirit steady. Elon? No one knew if he'd show. The lights blazed, and the room filled with folks, gray heads and weathered faces, people who'd lived through enough to know a reckoning when they saw it. Lena Torres, a reporter with silver hair and a voice like a warm hearth, welcomed Clara first. The crowd clapped, some standing in respect. "Tesla's a dream we bought into," Clara said, her tone firm but gentle, like a friend setting things right. "Elon wants us to see him as our hero, but that salute at Trump's event showed us something else. We trusted him with our hopes, and he broke that trust." She spoke of the earth, of rivers she'd fished with her dad, forests she'd walked with her grandkids. The audience nodded, a few brushing tears away. Lena turned to the empty podium. "Mr. Musk, your turn?" A hush fell. Clara smiled faintly, thinking she'd won. "Looks like he's—" But a low hum cut her off, like a truck on a dirt road. The back wall opened, and there he was, Elon Musk, in a plain black jacket, stepping into the light. The crowd gasped, then cheered, chairs creaking as folks leaned in. Clara's smile faded, her breath catching. Lena raised a hand. "Well, now we've got a night." Elon stood at his podium, looking right at Clara. "You've got something to say," he said, his voice steady, like he was chatting over supper. "Go ahead." She squared her shoulders. "That salute. At Trump's event. Explain it. We're not fools here." He nodded like he'd expected it. "It wasn't a salute," he said. "I was reaching out. To the crowd. To the future. You saw what you wanted because it made a good fight. But fights aren't the whole truth." Clara crossed her arms. "Truth? Tesla's just a way for you to get rich while we hope for cleaner air. That salute said more than your words ever will." Elon's face softened, but his eyes held firm. "Money's part of it. I won't lie. But Tesla's more." He turned to the screen, and it lit up. A picture bloomed. A dry Nevada plain turning green before their eyes. Machines planted trees. Hundreds, thousands, a number ticking up. 50,000, 100,000. "We called it Verdant Dawn," he said. "Started it when your boycott began. It'll be 1,000,000 trees soon, doing more for the earth than all our shouting." The crowd murmured, some in awe. Clara frowned. "That's just a show to quiet us." Elon stepped closer, his voice dropping low but clear, like a neighbor sharing a hard truth. "No show, Clara. It's real. And that forest? It's yours. Evans Grove. For you, because you made us prove it." The screen showed a sign, planted in honor of Clara Evans, who stood her ground. Then another sight, solar panels rising in her Oregon town, labeled "Lighting Clara's Home for her grandkids." Clara's hands shook on the podium, her eyes locked on the screen. The room burst into sound. Claps, gasps, a few soft cheers. Lena adjusted her glasses, stunned. Clara tried to speak. "It doesn't fix everything. That salute, your promises." But her voice cracked, the fight slipping away. Elon shrugged. "Easy as you please." "Maybe not, but it's a start. You pushed me, and I pushed back, with something you can touch. What's next?" He stepped back, adding, "Look for more tomorrow." Then he was gone, leaving Clara staring at her name in green. The crowd didn't know what to do. Clap or sit quiet? Clara's mind raced. She'd wanted a battle, but this was a gift wrapped in a challenge. She thought of her dad, who'd taught her to plant seeds, and her grandkids, who'd play under those trees. The next day, Tesla said every car sold would plant a tree, with a way for folks to see it grow. People started buying again. Older folks who'd wavered came back, touched by the gesture. The boycott faded like a storm passing over. Clara, still shaken, spoke up later. "He's a mystery. Maddening, clever, maybe even good. I'm not done fighting, but I'll take the grove." Elon answered, "Keep going, Clara. There's more to build." It began with a salute at Trump's event, a moment that broke trust. But it ended with a forest, a quiet victory, and two people finding a strange kind of peace. Tesla stood tall again, Clara gained new respect, and Elon Musk, the man who'd stunned the Boycott Queen into silence, showed that sometimes the best answer isn't a shout. It's a seed planted deep. Thank you for watching till the end video. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends too. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories.